The Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, Howard 101. 1-888-69-BUBBA. Ned, be on your best behavior.
Why?
Because I have Robin from the Howard Stern Show going to be on the phone any second.
Oh, my God.
And she is a big fan of you.
I'm a big fan of hers.
So I want you to be on your best behavior.
I will, if I can control myself.
That's her right there. I'll answer, Brent. Okay. Robin.
Hello there.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
We're a little bit sick up here, kind of like you guys are, or at least Howard is down there.
Yeah, I heard you when you first started the show today, and I said, "My goodness, what's happening here? Are you two having sympathetic illnesses?"
I thought you were going to say sex.
Well, I don't know. I didn't know what they did this weekend.
The last place in the world I'm going to be is in New York with the weather you guys got. I just got sick.
I figured you guys down there. I was thinking about it. I said, "Well, they must stay healthy all the time because the weather's so nice."
I never get sick, and and this is like the first I've gotten sick in like a year. And then my mom calls me and said that Howard was sick today because she listens to the show.
Is that right?
And so I guess we're all sick together. Well, Howard probably sent his private jet down, Brent, to pick me up, and when we had tongue-kissing excursion this weekend.
That's right, yeah. Something you're not telling us.
So how you been, Robin?
I'm good, and you?
Oh, we've been doing pretty good. We like being here in Florida, but we do miss being up there with you guys a little bit, too.
Yeah, I always find it fun when you guys are in the building, so we miss you when you're not here.
So, Robin, tell us about the car. You know, we're kind of removed from New York, so we don't get to live the show every day like you guys do, but we hear all these bits and pieces. Tell us about the car that Howard got for your birthday.
Well, it's a Mercedes 500 SL.
Wow.
Which is the hardtop convertible, and this one is the sunroof. So, you know, it has the sunroof, hardtop convertible, fully loaded, black with a charcoal interior.
And Mr. X been flossing?
He did go, you know, he's so crazy. You guys with cars are just outrageous. Well, he immediately went out and bought a cover for it.
This is the way I'd be. If I was Mr. X, Brent, I met Mr. X at the birthday party, he's a smooth brother. So you got to figure, well, listen, Robin's got car service. If I'm Mr. X, I'm thinking, Robin's got car service. She's like, you know, important and stuff. So I could take this out while she's working. I could just be flossing all the hoes.
I told him he can't drive it.
He's on restriction.
Yeah.
He's on restrictions. We have several cars, you know, which Artie was referring to the other day at the roast. He said, "Oh, yeah, just what Robin needs."
There's another car.
But he drives an Audi TT.
I'd be throwing that Audi. I'd be giving it to the Goodwill and saying, I'm flossing the new Benz, man. And the thing about it is I'm not making payments on the Benz.
That's right.
Howard, because you know, Brent, when you're that rich, you got clear titles. You don't have to finance like we do down here. You know,
right.
We're just a bunch of hillbillies. We have to see what our payments are before we can buy something.
What can you get the payments down to?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I used to look at that car in the showroom, and we used to have it demonstrated to us all the time and everything, and then we'd go on to, you know, what we could afford.
See, Robin, you can remember back in the day.
It was pretty outrageous to see it sitting there, and he handed me the keys and said, "You're driving it out of here. It's yours."
Oh. How long have you worked for Howard now, or with Howard, I should say?
It's been 25 years.
God, 25 years,
Yeah.
Brent.
I mean, we certainly wouldn't have guessed that when we started out. It's kind of a weird thing to think, 25 years later, here we are still doing the same crap.
Now, Brent, did you see the Oscars over the weekend? The guy that played Pig Vomit Virus was up for an award.
Yeah, Paul Giamatti. And you know what? He played because we had to deal with pig vomit.
I had to deal with, I worked for him too, Robin.
Oh, you're kidding.
In Jacksonville, I worked for that asshole, and his big claim to fame was he was Pig Vomit. Or whatever his fucking name was.
And then I had to deal with him because he runs Cleveland, the Cleveland market, and I was trying to get our show syndicated into Cleveland. What a nightmare that was.
But that what's the guy's name?
Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti.
He did play him perfect, did he not?
Oh, he was great, yeah.
Now, how true to life, Robin? I've always wanted to ask you this question. I've never had any alone time with you because I think you're afraid to go alone with me anywhere.
Well, you stayed away from me. We were at the party together, and I thought, maybe we'll have some time to hang out, get to know each other. I never saw you that night after you walked through the door.
Well, because everybody was all, Robin, you were stressed out getting everybody to their seats. Hey, Brent, remember when Robin goes, "Okay, everybody sit the fuck down."
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm going. I'm there.
And Brent comes to me and says, "Robin's really mad. We need to sit down." I go, "Oh, okay."
Oh, my goodness.
So how true to life was it, Robin, when on private parts, when they hung you out to dry on the WNBC shit?
Yeah.
How long were you out of there for?
Well, it doesn't. It's chronologically not quite NBC. NBC was involved in it,
Right.
But we weren't quite there yet when the whole thing went down.
Well, with regards to them firing you and making Howard miserable.
Right. Yeah, they had decided that they had him get rid of her, and that way we'll be able to control him better.
And it'll make him miserable.
Right. And that way they could, put their own people in there, the whole deal.
That real stiff fucker that was doing like theater in the park or some shit.
Right. Yeah, the summer stock guy. And so I was probably away for a couple of months.
That long? See,
yeah,
the movie made it look
months.
like it was like a week or so. You know what I'm saying, Brent? That's where the movie's not. I wouldn't say flawed, but they just for time constraints.
Right, you had to compact everything.
They couldn't show. They couldn't show Robin, at the house by herself for 2 weeks. So, but Howard did come back and said, we got to get you back, and then brought you back, and you guys haven't been away since.
But we spent some time not talking to each other, because nobody could understand exactly what was going on, and. Everybody had their own idea about how it should have been handled. And so there was a period of time where we didn't talk to each other, and then we slowly started talking to each other again. And then finally one day it was like, hey, would you come back? And I was like, hey, in a minute.
Now, Brent, we're all over the road here, but I never get to talk to Robin in this capacity. How did you hear the interview I had with Mr. X when we were building this stuff?
Oh yeah, I was in there. I was in the studio.
May have been the dirtiest one that he's ever done before. And
he rolled with it.
And
though.
he did roll with it, and I got a lot of good stuff that I don't think anybody's ever gotten out of him before. What did he tell you?
You have to understand that Mr. X is his tongue is firmly planted in his cheek.
Right. He doesn't answer. I found this out since we've done this interview that he doesn't answer anything seriously.
Right.
Oh.
So he was ribbing you the whole time.
So that's how fucking stupid I am. I thought it was legitimate. It's a newsworthy piece. I'm going to get the scoop on the deal. Meanwhile, he was working me, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He was.
Absolutely. He came back and he said, I think the guy took me seriously.
I did. I was all full of myself saying, Brent, guess what? What? I got Mr. X to say all kinds of shit. I know this is going to be great. Meanwhile, I was the one looking like a fucking buffoon.
Even Howard said to me, oh, poor Bubba, he thinks he's
I did look. Brent, to this minute, to this second, I still thought it was legitimate.
Right.
Oh,
it was all a rib.
Yeah, because he was like admitting that, when him and Robin have sex, that she calls out Howard's name.
Now, how many guys are going to put up with that?
Well, I'm thinking, this guy's got to be pretty secure to have Robin as a girlfriend. I mean, Brent, think about
it. You have to be deaf.
But I mean, Rob, just think about it, Brent. If your girlfriend, how we're here, but if your girlfriend was doing what we did for Howard Stern, I mean, and the thing, you got to be pretty secure.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking Mr. X in that interview did come across as very secure.
Yes.
So I'm thinking, he is really super secure if she gets to scream Howard's name out while they're banging. So I'm the one that looks like a fucking buffoon here.
Right.
And even clear to the birthday party, Mr. X was still playing Mr. Smooth Guy with me.
Right.
He loves to keep things going. I mean, if he can get somebody in the go along, he will keep it going.
And then he was talking about how when him and Robin have sex and that the only time that she ever was be quiet is about something about the ball game. Remember that, Brent?
Bubba asked Mr. X, what are Robin's oral parameters? And he said Robin's oral sex is coming up to me behind me when I'm watching the ball game and yelling "fuck you."
Sometimes I think, he's a frustrated stand-up comedian.
So, Robin, tell us about what's up with your TV show. How are we doing on that deal?
Well, that seems to be on hold right now. I'm still under contract to Sony, but we're not in production right now.
Could you even care less?
It might be. How these things go. Sometimes you get picked up, sometimes you don't. So, I'm sort of waiting out that whole situation, and then when we see what we're doing, when they have to make a decision or not, I'll either go with them or go with somebody else. I really want to do a TV show.
Because you're a hell of a lot more compelling than Maury.
Well, not only that, Brent, but she's got great name recognition. Why wouldn't somebody try to cash in on that a little bit?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes people are a little bit afraid of us. And there's a lot of...
Yeah, but you're the straight person of the crazy of the duo.
I know that, but there are those, like some of the channels, we are Clear Channel channels. We got all kinds of stuff going on out there. When you're trying to get clearances too.
So you could almost be, guilty by association.
Yeah, sometimes I think that comes into play.
I'd say fuck it. Howard's paying me more money than you guys could ever think about paying me. So fuck off, everybody.
Well, yeah, it's just that every once in a while I had that dream in the back of my head of also doing that, and I had fun. I shot a pilot this summer, And
I heard it was
the
good.
Best time doing it.
I heard the pilot was really good.
Yeah, I had a great time, and it was as much fun as doing this, which is all you could ask for.
Well, I mean, if you look
sometimes you go into things and it's like, not that much fun, but I had a blast.
And if you look at the people, Brent, like the Tony Danzas,
Horrible.
and the Tyra Banks,
Brutal.
and the Mauries,
Terrible.
and all these half-ass people that don't have any savvy with regards to interviewing people or name
Or
recognition.
being entertaining.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey, you want to be my agent?
I should be. Hell, I can't cut myself a very damn good deal, but I could cut you one hell of a deal.
Well, you know what? I wanted to tell you guys, I have become a fan.
No
I don't know
way.
if it gets back to you, but I'm always talking about what I hear on the show, and I definitely try to spend every Friday afternoon with you guys because I have a little bit of a long drive there on Thursday and Fridays. And so I'll get in the car and just say, wait, make sure I'm in the car when Bubba's on.
Isn't that awesome,
and
Brent?
I'll drive down to the shore listening to you guys.
Yeah, I heard you this morning saying some of this nice stuff about us. It's very honoring that Robin would say this.
Ned's got the hots for a woman with big black jugs. That's what
Yeah,
Ned
I
just said.
keep hearing that Ned is a big fan.
My Nubian princess. If I could only.
You know what, Ned? With that accent, I sort of get a little shaky.
Yeah, Ned. I mean,
I'd like to think of you getting shaky. Quivering.
Ned.
I'm not so sure I would make it out of the room if I went in with you.
Hey,
That's probably true.
and
But you'd love every minute of it.
Hey, Ned, you've not had the luxury, and I'm not, Brent. I've been saying this all along. Robin, I mean, she looks good on TV, but in real life,
She's beautiful.
hot.
Yeah, beautiful.
The first time we went up to K-Rock, I actually made a point to go in her little booth there and got a smell on her and everything. It was kind of kick-ass.
Yeah, she's hot.
I'd like to polish that dusky jewel.
Well, thank you very much. It's very flattering.
Brent, we should probably settle the score now with Robin.
Oh yeah, that's
Now,
right.
this is something I did not get to hear. I only heard about it.
And you got to promise, Robin, you're used to playing all kinds of goofy games with Howard, so he makes you give him definitive answers sometimes. And we're not making you, but we're asking you, certainly.
Certainly, I can give a definitive answer.
Yeah, and you're not one to hold back usually. You're very opinionated, and you're a very strong woman, so you're never going to get pigeonholed into some answer that you wouldn't agree with.
Right.
But the bottom line is, after the first time or the second time that Brent and I had did the show, we talked about how hot we think you were, and you got big jugs, and your face is beautiful,
Smart.
And, yeah, I mean, pro Robin shit. And so we had a little bit of and we've kind of since let it go because I didn't think we'd ever get the opportunity to ask her, one-on-one. But we were like thinking, if you had to pick between the two, between Brent or I, who would you choose to have sex with? If you had to pick.
Yeah, I have to have sex with somebody.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, you absolutely, positively, to save your life, have to screw either me or Brent.
Gee.
Hey, Brent, can you just picture? She just gritted her teeth.
She
and
just
went,
went,
holy
whoa.
shit. Bad reception here. Huh? If you had to, because we both think that we have, that I, honest to God, think that you'd choose me, and Brent seems to think that you would choose him. And I mean, we'd like for you to, Brent, now, at the end of the day, Brent, let the best man win.
Sure.
And
Yeah,
I'm not.
but now give me your rationale for why I would choose each of you. You tell me why you think I would choose
Yeah.
you.
Brent, you go first.
Well, number one, because of my great intellect and communication skills.
I'm not gonna chime in. I'm just let you go ahead and do your whole deal. Your whole spiel.
'Cause-
like we're part of the dating game almost.
I think me because of my great intellect, and we would connect mentally, and you'd be able to talk and laugh and have a good time. And if you can make a woman laugh, you can usually but get her to sleep with you.
Are you done?
Okay.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, Brent. First of all, you're not that funny. You're pretty smart. I'm the funny guy.
Wait
of
a
the show.
minute. I thought you're supposed to be.
No, I'm trying to defend myself. It's the dating game here.
You're not defending yourself. You're supposed to give yourself, not
I'm gonna.
critique me.
I am. I'm saying I'm funnier than you are.
She'd be laughing at you, Brent, not with you.
But she'd
Yeah.
still be laughing nonetheless.
Okay, hold on now. Now hold on. You guys are prying into my time now. I asked if you were done, Brent, and you go yes, and I didn't interject until then.
But I didn't cut on you.
You can. Ready? Okay, ready, Brent, for the retry and action. You can call me fat, whatever the fuck you want to say.
I thought it was give your talents, not.
Okay. Here's the bottom line. I'm saying the reason she'd like me is because out of you and you're the intellectual. You are smarter than me. Yes, but Robin doesn't want anybody smarter than her. She wants somebody stupider than her. So that's why I can't debunk any of her theories. She can say, "Hey, Bubba," I'll be like, "You're right, honey. Let's fuck." You're right, baby. Now, one, Brent, I think I'm physically more attractive than you are. I mean, I'm just trying to put myself over.
Go ahead.
And two, Brent, if you want to talk about funny. I'm funnier than you are, but you're smarter than me. So I'll give that to you. So at that juncture, I think I'm sexier and I'm funnier, but I'm more stupid, and you're more intelligent, but not as good looking. So that's where we stand. Ned, would you like to interject on? I mean, you don't have a chance with her because you're not part of the game.
Yeah, I know she'd pick me if she had a chance, but I think she'll go with Bubba because Brent looks way too much like a skinhead.
Oh, okay.
So, Robin, now you've had a chance to.
All right, I've heard your arguments, and I will now give you my definitive answer.
Brent and I've been waiting for this for a long time.
I'm going to have to choose Bubba.
I'm so fucking happy right now.
Wow, that's stiff.
It's like I just won scratch off or something, but I'm
that's stiff. Over a lifelong fan. This Johnny Come Lately.
Oh, you are such a fucking ass.
It's only because I think you're a little too laid back.
Brent is?
Brent.
Yeah, Brent's a little too laid back.
Three of us were in a bar. Bubba's going to make the approach.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And that's going to get my attention. That's how I figured. He's going to wind up getting the head start.
And Robin, I give great oral.
Well, I've heard you say that.
And I got the two-fingered cul-de-sac technique that can make most women squirt. She's laughing. See, Brent, she made the right choice.
See, but I could give you the top 20 reasons Bush is a jackass.
I can't. And you know what?
Well, see, I already know that.
Yeah. See, Brent, she already knows. She has to be political and smart for her job. She wants a guy like me that's, funny and hot.
Look, if we're picking her up in a bar, I'm going to win hands down because I just slip a roofie in her drink.
Ned's just hitting me over the head and dragging me back to his cave.
Hey, driving your $100,000 Mercedes. Hey, bitch, you're driving your car. My pickup ain't starting.
Well, I got to tell you, you guys, first of all, I love guys. I love to listen to guys talk. I love the things that guys are into. I just love hanging out with guys.
Right.
And when you guys are carrying on, you're a little the reason I'm afraid to come into the studio is because the testosterone level is a little too high.
Yeah. We got this. We got the torture rack and
25 Cent and his antics.
Oh yeah, poor 25 Cent.
Hey, Robin's a big fight fan. Did you see the Lacey fight on Saturday night?
I heard you guys talking about that. I have sort of been ignoring boxing lately because it's gotten to be so ridiculous.
This kid from St. Petersburg, just Jeff Lacey, good kid.
Yeah, friend of the show.
22-0. I mean, he was I thought he was. I didn't think there'd be anybody ever take that kid down. And this white boy from Wales looked like he had no muscles.
I know.
It was like Braveheart on AIDS. Won all 12 rounds.
Wow, I have to take a look at that because it sounds very interesting.
Yeah, it was on Showtime.
It was on Showtime. Yeah, I didn't know she was a big box fan.
Oh, yeah. I used to love boxing, but I think, anytime a guy hooks up with a radio guy, that's like the kiss of death to a boxer.
Yeah.
Just before Roy Jones got beat, where did he go? To the Howard Stern show.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what, though? Winky Wright's a good friend of ours from St. Pete, and he was on our show before he fought Shane Mosley the first time, and he snapped him in 6.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you guys don't have the
the bad
black
luck
cloud over you for boxers that we do, because usually a guy, Shannon Briggs was a big friend of ours, and he was like, I'm going in there, Howard, I'm going to win for you, and he'd get his ass kicked.
Hey, Robin, can you believe, with our newfound freedom and our new family, can you believe that we all coexist and we all get along? And because, the old terrestrial, old-fashioned radio, we are always conditioned, not to ever endorse anybody or not to everybody. And isn't it so nice for
It's wonderful. And I was going to say, because I was trying to think back, because it really is amazing to me that I love listening to your show. I had become conditioned just to hate everybody on site.
Yep.
Because, most radio dudes are just
rip-offs.
Yeah, and scumbags. And so I really didn't want to have much to do with them. In fact, when I first started working with Howard, it was tough for them to convince me to do it because I had this preconceived notion about radio morning men and what jackasses they were.
And for the most part, they are.
How talented they were.
Like today, we just picked up a Bob and Tom CD. Somebody from the show sent us a Bob and Tom, and there's a bit of ours that Bob and Tom ripped off and are selling now. And I'm like,
they're selling it.
Yeah, they're selling it on one of their best of CDs, and I'm like, here's but they're playing my old bits on their number one rate on their number one showcased terrestrial show. And I was like,
you know what I really love about it is, remember, they were showing how they were cleaning themselves up for the government.
Right.
by getting rid of you,
And Howard.
but they're still willing to take money
Exactly.
for the same material.
Well, they really only fired, Brent, 2 people, and that was Howard. It was me on the 24th and Howard on the 25th of February, and it was just like, they needed 2 marquee names, Howard being the number 1, and then me being close-knit to the Clear Channel family, and they made an example out of us. And it just, you know what, though, here we are.
How do you justify now we're going to go back and get their material, and we're still going to use it to drum up ratings, and we're still going to use it to make money?
And we have zero tolerance, but, the bottom line is we're considered to be like a bunch of bitches, Brent, but me and Howard, or Howard and I and Robin, and collectively, we're all in such a better. I never thought I could have this much fun doing radio.
You know what? We keep saying this is like when we first started and nobody was paying attention, and we just did it for the fun of it. Yeah. That's how much fun we're having. It's like being 10 again and just playing all morning.
It is, man. Anyway,
so
Robin.
We're just loving it. And the thing I was going to say about you guys was, I tuned in to, first of all, I think we met before.
Right.
We were all doing one of those down at, like, the Grammys or something in Los Angeles.
Right.
And your table or wherever you were set up was not far from where we were.
And we did meet.
And we got into a big brouhaha.
Oh, yeah, Howard hated me. Which means Robin hates you, too. I mean, Robin.
Yeah, I just remember vaguely fighting with you, and that was the only thing I knew about Bubba the Love Sponge.
Well, then we got in a big knockdown fight when we first got put into Hartford, because here I was like in 96th place, and Howard was number 1 on CCC. So I instantaneously, Brent, what are you going to do when you're in 90th place and you got to go after the number 1 guy?
Right,
because you want the number 1 guy to mention you.
Because I want the number 1 guy to say, "Who's that fat ass down there?" I was so hoping that Howard would acknowledge me. And Howard used to bust. The worst thing he could do to me is what he did to me. It's like, I don't even know who Bubba the Love Sponge is.
Right.
I don't even want to be in the same industry as a Bubba the Love Sponge. And I was like, that asshole. Damn it.
Well, that's the riot of it all, because we just had that warrior attitude with everybody.
Who's going to be the next? Who's going to be the next? Are they looking for new people, Brent, to help fill our channel up, or is it just going to be Howard?
Definitely, all the time.
Yeah, they're going through a bunch of stuff.
It just proves I hope we find somebody. I know Farrell's pretty good.
Yeah, Farrell did.
Yeah, everybody seemed to like him. I didn't get to listen to him that much, and then, of course, Danny Bonaducci was on for a week.
Right.
But I've heard rumors that he's now being considered for David Lee Roth's replacement.
Already?
Oh, yeah, I'm hearing.
That's what the rumor is.
Oh, the rumor is Howard. I've heard, too, and Robin probably knows more than us, but I'm hearing that there's all kinds of dissension in that David Lee Roth camp.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
and the ratings that came out last week, they were down to like
easy over there.
Oh God,
it's really sad. So free radio is
free radio so bad that you got to give it away for fucking free, and nobody's gonna listen to it.
But anyway, yeah. So Danny did the
audition.
The audition for a week. And one of the things he was saying, I wanted to ask you about, he was saying that, okay, of course he had to be number 2 to Howard. But then it was a matter of, all right, are you going to be number 3 to Bubba's number 2?
Right.
And he was like, he wasn't going to be number 2.
Well,
he wasn't going to go behind you. He could take being number 2, not number 3.
Well, that's an asshole that's full of himself, because they all need to realize that Howard does not even play that card.
Uh-huh.
Howard doesn't play that. On the Brent, we've been with Howard a lot, and Robin's with him every day, and he never plays that card.
No, absolutely not. But this was something that
he had
Danny
drummed up in his
was
head.
having, this argument with himself, and he was trying to say, no, I can't be. All right, everybody has to,
be number 2.
Kiss Howard's butt, but
I'm not kissing Bubba the Love Sponge's ass.
That was basically it. He didn't have to kiss mine.
But
Danny Bonaducci.
Yeah, Bonaducci. You know what, though? I love Farrell. Farrell's like, I'll kiss Bubba's butt, I'll stick my tongue in his ear, whatever. I just want to be on the channel.
And the next person should realize that, there is no number 2 or 3 or kiss anybody's ass.
We're now creating a new kind of family.
Oh yeah, and there's a great cross. Remember the old-fashioned radio? I hate to say this, but back in the day when the midday guy would talk to the afternoon drive, or the midday girl would, all the cross promotion and stuff. That's way because we're truly not competing with each other. We're truly on the same team. That's what we're doing at this juncture, and nobody else is doing it. We're the only ones that are like, hey, listen, you know what? Robin's the greatest, and Bubba's good, and Howard's the man in the morning.
If you remember back before it got to be such a business, everybody at the radio station were friends. You got together and you had drinks later and all that kind of stuff. And all of that somehow got lost
It sure did.
Yeah,
as we went on. And then we were, our own little,
family.
yeah.
You know what?
Everybody else was the enemy.
You know my favorite on the whole show is Brent, next to Robin because she wants to sleep with me. But do you know who my favorite who my favorite is?
Artie.
I love Artie.
See, I'm a big, huge Fred fan.
See, Fred scares me. He doesn't talk. He scares me.
But you know what? Talk to him off the air, and he won't shut up.
I love Artie. Artie, you know what, Robin? Artie has been such a wonderful addition compared to Jackie.
I agree with you 100%. I love Jackie, but Jackie was difficult to deal with.
Oh, I had him in the studio for that interview, and he was just kind of a prick.
Yeah.
I mean, whereas Artie's even funnier now that the censorship
now that the restraints are off?
Oh.
Artie is just hysterical.
I just hope he stays alive. We need to keep him off the snack machine.
Well, that's the problem. He takes these swings, and 30 pounds or something in a couple of months. That's crazy.
Oh, there's Mr. X calling. Say, what are you talking to some fat white boy for, bitch? I'm in the Mercedes flossing. What's up?
Who are you on the phone with?
You got to get that, Robin?
No, I don't even know.
It's probably Sony Television wanting to sign that deal.
Some wireless caller. Who is that? I don't even know who it is. I wish the phone I don't know how to work this phone.
It's probably Oprah getting a little bit jealous, Brent. She got some mic time. Artie.
It'll stop in a few minutes.
They need to put trail mix, Brent, in the snack machine and healthy food, or Artie's going to end up dying.
Yeah, we need to get him around.
He goes on these. He takes a swing. He'll go really healthy for a while, and he'll start. He's seeing like the warm weather is going to come.
Right.
I think that's when he's going to start to try to pull it together and start jogging again and
now,
eating a little bit less.
Howard
he goes on these things where he says, "I won't eat after like 4:00 in the afternoon."
Right.
But he'll eat right up until.
Now Howard's pretty healthy. He eats healthy, does he not?
Oh, Howard's ridiculous. Beth told a story the other day about watching him pace back and forth in his apartment, trying to decide whether he should eat some frozen bananas.
It's the richest guy I know. And that's his dilemma on his mind.
He's the richest human being that I know, Brent, right? And he's all zipped up over that he wants to eat a frozen banana or not.
Right.
That's his dilemma.
It's Robin from the Howard Stern Show. Robin, every once in a while, can you call us up? Because I love it, man.
I would love to. I tell you, I love listening to you guys. Like I said, I'm always there on Thursdays and Fridays to check it out. And if I can get a chance during the week, I tune in just to see what you guys are up to. And the one other thing I wanted to ask was, how do you bad boys get such sweet mothers? Howard's mother's a sweetheart. Your mother sounds like a sweetheart.
Oh, I don't know. I think it has a lot to do with who we developed into, and the fact that we have such great mothers and such liberal, out of the box like type mothers that we're able to be ourselves. And I can ask my mom anything.
I'm amazed. When she called up, I was listening to the cruise ship story.
And she was talking about shit.
Yeah.
It smelled like shit.
The ship smells like shit.
And then she said, "Oh, my mom is the." I was going to talk to Howard about doing the Janie Cakes show because she'd be hilarious, Brent, if we could fly her to New York to do a show one time.
Absolutely, you should definitely pitch that.
Well, I don't want to be that guy that's that's bugging them too much. Though as you know, I try to stay under the radar just because I don't want to be get in trouble or nothing.
Right, but I'm sure that he wouldn't mind. We're looking for programming, and that's one of the things I was going to say. The other thing, because a lot of people are saying this to us too, and I'm having that feeling about you guys. I don't know your history. I don't know how everybody came to the show to work together. I don't know when they joined. I don't know what your relationships are like off the air. So any of that stuff, anytime it comes up, I'm dying to hear.
I love that, Brent, because we can actually get a good opinion. We got one person that's in our building, two, a person that works with Howard, and three, a great listener perspective as to things we need to do. We need to have Robin the consultant sessions.
You know what?
Definitely, and I'm telling you, when you said the other week that Howard said he loves the best the stuff when you're just in the studio talking to each other.
Yeah,
that's what I love too.
And I wouldn't have played so many best of elements today, but I feel like shit.
Oh, I know that. But I like listening. Believe me, I like listening to the old stuff as well because it gives me some perspective on, what you guys did before. In fact, one of the things I think my turning point came when you were doing the story about the guy with the deep voice.
Oh, Wells.
Who does, your announcing, who did your announcing at Clear Channel.
The camel toe contest.
Yeah.
Yes.
With Wells.
I loved that.
He was pissed off about
he
that.
was
for
so
real.
mad.
I loved the whole thing, and it was really funny because Bubba picked up on it. Listen to him. He's going, he loves his deep voice.
Oh, yeah, he just likes to hear himself like,
You know what I think it is? Because I sat there and I said, every deep voice guy does that.
Yep.
And I think it's the vibration.
Yep.
I think they're getting off.
They're getting a boner off their throat deal.
Absolutely.
Now, Brent, can I ask one last question? Because you know everything. What was Robin's revelation? Did she fruited herself?
Yeah, she meat and vegetables herself.
I mixed a salad.
Now, Anna, hold on. Were you making dinner for Mr. X and you dealed up the
This
deal?
happened a long time ago.
But the way she told the story was so hot. The way she told it was so good.
What's the craziest Robin's ever gotten in the studio before?
Robin usually stays in her booth. And
Right, but you know what? There was one time, and I to this day don't know what came over me. But we were playing a game with, I think it was Cindy Margolis
Right.
and a friend of hers, and we were doing like a strip Jeopardy thing with them,
oh my God.
and we were betting on whether they could answer the questions. And they had to strip.
Right.
And then we finally got, and everybody's losing money because these girls can't answer anything. And we come to the final question. It's some really simple question. And everybody's, betting whatever they've got now that, they're going to answer the question. And I bet on the girls. And it was like, not only do I have to pay this money, but you have to flash.
And was that Howard's thinking?
Yeah, it was like in the room. I don't know. I don't remember who said it, but, we were in a frenzy.
You know how the show gets away from you?
The stupid girls couldn't answer the question.
And did you have to flash?
And I didn't have to show my breast, but I had to show my bra.
Right, which is a lot for you.
Yes. And so I opened my bra for a second. But, of course, with, all this technology, you can freeze frame it.
Oh, yeah. The in-demand
And
guys.
Doug
so,
Goodstein
of course,
back there.
It went on the TV show, and it was in slow motion.
Oh, and superimpose Zoom.
Yes,
Now-
absolutely.
now, Robin,
they
what-
did everything they could with it.
Rob, this is a good question, but then I need to ask, and I'm the only one in this room that's worthy of asking it because her and I are going to hook up possibly. If you had to give us an exact size of those unbelievable hot black breasts, what would the not that we're going to see them, but can you give us an actual size? Like I can guess. I'm pretty good at it, Brent.
All right, go ahead.
I'm thinking 34 double D.
You would be close.
That's what I'm thinking.
You would be close.
Brent,
That was.
34D.
You're talking about after reduction, what they are currently now?
No,
or-
I'm telling you right now, today, I think they're 34Ds. Because she's teeny tiny, but she's got these unbelievably hot breasts. So that's the 34 comes from the tininess, and then
Right.
the D cup comes from how big her boobs are.
I would have guessed triple D.
No,
Well,
no.
you're exactly right.
Brent, you're right.
Thank you.
Look at that, Brent. The guy who does not get to be with her gets that's your intellect coming through.
You just dream on.
Brent, she just fucked you and said, "Dream on, big boy." Robin, thank you so much for going on with us.
Well, this was a blast. Thank you for having me.
And tell everybody we said hi.
I certainly will, and you feel better, too.
I will. I'll get to feeling better. And tell Howard, and more importantly, tell Artie I said hi.
I certainly will.
Thank you, Robin.
You guys take care.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.